On today's episode, we talk about how to learn, and I share the 4 stages of competence. Hey, what's up guys? Cam here, and today I'm coming at you from Central Park here in New York City. Quickly, if you haven't already, make sure you go on gamecourse.com and sign up for the email list. Over the next few months, specifically in October, November, and December, I'm going to be launching a lot of new things that are only going out on there. So make sure you sign up and join the community so you can stay up to date on all the different things that are going on, especially around my book and other exciting things. So check that out and make sure you sign up if you haven't already done that. Today's video is part of a new series on how to learn. And in this episode specifically, we're going to talk about the 4 different stages of competence, which is a really valuable framework I've used over the last couple of years to understand the different points I'm at in my learning process. And for you specifically, you'll be able to use this to understand the different stage that you're at as it relates to moving on from video games. Understanding how to learn is one of the most valuable skill sets you can develop. Because the thing is, life is a skill, and everything in life is also a skill. So when you can understand how to learn and how to learn these skills and get better, there's nothing that you can't do, because all you have to do is think about, what do you want to do, and then go out and learn it. As someone who dropped out of high school, one of the things I think school is really missing right now is teaching kids actually how to learn. Now, I know in school, that's part of the purpose for why you're there. It's one of the intangibles that you develop by being there. But I really think that the school system needs to focus a lot more on teaching you that the reason you're there is to learn how to learn, and then going through that process to do so. Now, I'm not here to blame the school system, but what I am here to do is help you understand the different skill sets you need to figure out in order to start kicking ass in your life every single day. And understanding how to learn is one of the most valuable things that you can put your focus and attention towards. Remember, the way you do something is the way you do everything. So by understanding the process of learning, you'll be able to get better at certain skills that you're focused on. And in doing so, that's going to teach you a lot about how you can get better at anything else that you want to do. Now, I definitely don't mean that this only applies to things like learning how to start new skills like developing a business or playing guitar or skills like that. I'm also talking about your emotions, like learning how to be happy, learning how to be more vulnerable, learning how to connect better with other people. In fact, I really believe that over the last 8 years, the thing I've focused on the most is learning how to have a meaningful life. And that's what I'm really trying to share with you guys now. So before I go into the 4 stages of competence, what you want to focus on is that these are different stages that you're at in your journey. There are different stages that you're at in your skill development. Take, for instance, your journey moving on from video games. There are different stages that you're going through, and by understanding more about what those stages are, it gives you the power to know how to get to the next stage, and over time, improve your life to a point where you're no longer focused on not playing video games, but you're actually focused on living a more meaningful life, which is really what this whole process is about. So there are 4 stages of competence, and the first is unconscious incompetence. In this stage, you don't know how to do something, you may not even recognize that you have a deficit in it, and you probably don't even see the value in it, or you're denying the value in it. An example of this is when you were gaming a lot, you may have denied that life outside of games was even worth it, or that it had any value at all. This is unconscious incompetence. You don't even know what you don't know. To move forward in this stage, you have to recognize your deficit and recognize the value in learning this new skill. And really, the length of time that you're going to be in the stage only comes down to one thing: your desire to learn. Now, most of you aren't actually going to be in the stage, because just by the very nature of you watching this video, you've probably already got to the second stage, which is conscious incompetence. And this really has to do with most of you guys right now. If you're watching this video, you're going to be bouncing between stage 2 and stage 3. And in stage 2, you might not know how to do something. Let's say, for example, live a meaningful life, but you recognize the value in it, and you recognize the deficit, and you're beginning to take action and make mistakes to move forward, which is really the only thing that you can do to start moving to stage 3. And stage 3 is conscious competence. You're beginning to understand how to do something. You're beginning to understand what a meaningful life means to you, but you take a lot of concentration, you take a lot of focus in order to do it. Like I said, you guys are mostly going to be bouncing between stages 2 and 3. So either you're taking action and making a lot of mistakes along the way, or you're beginning to learn, but it's taking a lot of focus and concentration in order to do that. And every time you hear me say that you want to schedule your day or use your agenda, that's what I'm talking about with this stage, is that helps you be structured, that helps you stay focused, and in doing so, you're going to move to the fourth stage, which is unconscious competence, which basically means that the skill is now second nature and it's something that you can teach to others. And when it comes to, say, moving on from video games, that's the stage I'm in, where for me, every single day, I'm not really thinking about games. Every once in a while I might get a craving, but it's very, very minimal, and it doesn't really take me too much effort to be able to stay consistent day after day after day. Now, of course, the only reason that I'm in that stage now is because I went from stage 1 to 2 to 3 and now to stage 4. And I've done that by following 3 key steps. And these are the 3 steps that I really do believe, regardless of what stage you're at, if you want to move forward to any new stage, if you want to get to that level 4, you have to use these 3 principles. The first principle is desire. Just like I said in stage 1, the only difference between stage 1 and 2 is your desire to learn. If you have that desire inside, you'll be able to move from stage 1 to 2. And just by the fact that you're watching this video, it shows that you have that desire. So just make sure you take a second to recognize yourself for it. Stage 2 is action. If you don't take any action, you're not going to get anywhere. Just like in stage 2, you have to make mistakes to move forward. And to make mistakes, you have to take action. So if, say, you're trying to learn how to live a meaningful life, you need to take action and understand, are you closer or not? And one way to think about that is that you learn through contrast. Try something, see how it feels. Try something else, see how it feels. And pay attention to what makes you feel more fulfilled every single day. Finally, the last principle is focus. The main difference between each stage is not just action, but focus. To get from stage 3 to 4, you have to concentrate. You have to put that conscious thought in. You need to focus. And I really do believe that the main difference between people who are more successful than others is that they have focus. To recap, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. You need to pay attention to that desire you have inside to learn something new. Next, you need to take massive action. You have to go for it. You have to put effort in. It's impossible to get any results if you don't take action. And finally, you have to focus. Focus, focus, focus. The difference in those who are successful just comes down to focus. Focus really matters. So if you're looking to get from one stage to the next, remember, focus. Okay, so let's think about how this applies to you guys. If you've just quit playing video games and you've chosen some new activities, but you're having to really focus on that, and it's really hard for you to not just feel bored all the time and go back and play games, then you're most likely somewhere between stage 2 and 3. And remember, concentration is your path forward. So even though sometimes it can feel annoying that you have to focus so much on this stuff, remember, you're just in a different stage. And as you continue to put action in, you'll be able to move forward where you won't have to put so much concentration in over time. Now, if you're someone who's quit gaming for a while, but you're still not necessarily feeling fulfilled, remember, that's something that you just have to continue to learn about. Something that's worked really well for me is learning through contrast. So try something, see how it feels, try something else, see how it feels, and understand the difference between the two. Now, try and go more in depth than just focusing on, I like this thing, I didn't like that thing. Try and focus on what was it about each thing that you liked? What was it about each thing that you didn't like? And really try and get more detailed, because in those details is actually going to teach you what you're passionate about. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys out. If it does, make sure you hit thumbs up to help other people find this video. Make sure you hit subscribe. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I reply to every comment, so if you haven't said what's up already, I'd love to hear from you. I'm just in New York City right now. I have a ton of really cool things planned for you guys. So stay patient, stay tuned, and I can't wait to share all of this stuff with you guys soon. That's it for me today, guys. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'll talk to you soon. All right, peace.